Everyone. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. It's your girl Essie. I'm coming on this morning because we're going to talk about some caregiving updates. It's Sunday. It's a good time to kind of assess where we are for this week, what we got coming up for the next week ahead, and then just talk about some of the challenges that we have to encounter when we are the person that's giving care or when we see the need of someone who needs to receive care, and why it's so important that people stay engaged and have a full understanding across the board, what needs to be done. So allowing YouTube to get people notified. You guys, it's early Sunday morning. I know some people are up. I'm up. I'm up. Clearly, I'm up. I don't look like I just rolled up out of bed, right? So I'm a little up. I'm moving this stuff out the way because y'all don't need to see. Y'all don't need to see my junk. Okay, y'all don't need to see the stuff I got spread out all over my bed because, that's, where I'm at. So I'm allowing, and hopefully YouTube will be able to pull some people in this Sunday morning. Here, I had plans. The plans have been canceled. It's freezing. It's cold for June. I have no idea why it's so cold in June. I actually, if you guys hear it, I have a heater on in my room because it's so cold to me. And then also because I'm also somebody who gets cold easily. So happy Sunday to everybody that's able to join. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for joining, whoever jumped on. Put your name in the chat so I know who you are. I really appreciate you hopping on this Sunday, well, Sunday morning here. And so thank you for hopping on. I really appreciate it. You guys know whenever I get the opportunity, I'm going to try to jump on and give you the encouragement that you need, not only to continue to endure through caregiving and life experiences, but also to see if there's anything we can plan for the upcoming week. Now, yesterday, I got some chance or opportunity to kind of chill, right? And I needed that. I needed a moment to kind of just sit back and unwind and just really take it all in. It was a beautiful day yesterday. I don't know what happened today because today it is freezing here. It's like the weather don't know what to do. The weather don't know what to do for me. Happy Sunday, everybody. I know it's early in the morning, but your girl up. I'm up. I'm wired, okay? And let me tell you something else. Your girl got her coffee here, so I'm really wired, right? I'm a morning person anyway. So normally I'm up around 4:30, and I am like, I'm set for the day. Now, the downside of being a morning person is sometimes around, I don't know, around 8 o'clock, I'm about ready to pass out. Good morning, John. How are you? I'm here in the States. That's where I am. It's early in the morning. I'm on the East Coast and it's cold. Like I said, it was warm yesterday and now today is freezing. Let's see, Ricardo. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for jumping on this morning. I know everybody's up on a Sunday. I know everybody is, trying to get their day planned. And so I wanted to get on here. If you watch my channel, I talk about caregiving, also try to give motivational encouragement to people who are needing it and people who are in need of just being able to get caregiving services started for someone who needs that care. And so yesterday, my family and I were able to get an outing. We were able to just take in some time to breathe. No, Shantez Ian, never be done. Call 911, get some help that you need. I am so sorry that you're going through something, but life is so beautiful that you should want to see what happens next. And I know that may sound horrible, but you want to stay around for it. So please call 911, get some help. And y'all, drop something for Shantez to encourage Shantez to keep on going. Drop something in the comments if you're still there. Thanks, everybody. Happy Sunday. Good afternoon, Code D. You're in Britain. I know you got that 5 hour ahead time span. I think you're 5 hours ahead. My husband's in Nigeria, so I know about the 5 hour difference. I think that's why I'm wired and why I'm up. But y'all drop something in the chats for Shantez and try to give them encouragement to continue. Because, I don't want anyone to feel like they're alone or need to be neglected and that they feel like this is it. The life, let me explain this to you, Shantez. I have been at the point of when I've been so discouraged that I've been suicidal. Okay. And I got help that I needed, but I kind of kept everything in. And I discussed that in one of my videos. I had to get assistance, right? I had to get assistance in order to be able to push past that. And I'm going to tell you right now, that you want to see what the next chapter holds. You want to know what's coming because life has ups and downs. And so please, you all drop something in the chats for Shantez. I don't want you to feel like you're alone. And Shantez, call 911 or whatever emergency services you have where you are. And let's get into getting you the help that you need, okay? But don't think that you're done. We're never done. There's so many chapters in life. Don't you want to see what's next? I do. Hey, everybody else. I'm good. I'm wired. Happy Sunday. You guys know if you follow me, and don't forget to subscribe before we get into this, right? I am a caregiver. I am a sandwich generation caregiver, is what I like to describe it as, because I'm in one part, I am taking care of the needs of my mom. The other part, I have 5 young people. Now, 3 of my young people are technically grown. They doing their own thing. That's fine. And I'm happy. But I still am always going to be a mom. And, obviously my husband and I, we got to spend time for each other too, right? We got to make sure that we're taken care of. So caregiving services is something that I talk about, motivational, encouragement to plan out the next week. I know I'm not the only one that's a caregiver. I know. And let me tell you something. If you have aging parents and you are helping them in any sort of way, trust me, you're giving them some type of care. And so this is to get you to have some motivation. No, it's not just you alone. And let's get into it. So please, guys, tap that screen. Tap the screen and give me some likes. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe. That's my pitch. Okay, I'm done with that. I'm done with that. So I always talk about caregivers having some time off. Caregivers taking some time to really revitalize yourself, refresh yourself, because you need that. We need that anyway, right? When I start getting a little bit exhausted, when I start getting a little frustrated with life, I always think I need some downtime and a vacation. And I joke with people all the time, your girl need a vacation. I'm getting a little antsy. I'm getting tired all the time. I don't have time for myself. I need to shut down. So if I feel that way just in life in general, you top that with giving care to someone who needs the care, and rightly so, you're going to suffer from burnout. You're going to get tired. You are. You are going to get to the point where you feel like, you know what? I've worn myself out. I've exhausted all my energy, and now I'm ready to shut down. Or your body will let you know you need to shut down. You could get sick, exhausted. You don't know what's going to happen. So, caregivers definitely need some time where they just shut it down themselves. Yes, I am married. I'm happily married. Jim, that shows you have never watched my content before. Yes, I am happily married. And so all of us pitch in to give the care that we need to people who need it, okay? But yesterday, I run around so much, I didn't really have a chance or opportunity and haven't had a chance or opportunity to take care of myself and to spend time with my family, right? My children, my son-in-law. Hi, Stephen, everybody. Hello, happy Sunday. Welcome, welcome. And so yesterday, I got some time to really just shut down. I went to an aquarium with my children and some other people, and I was able just breathe. Hello, Almond. Thank you so much. If I messed up your name, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much. And so I got a chance and opportunity to just walk around, enjoy the day, take a breath. My mom was in excellent hands. She was being cared for. I made sure everything was okay before I left. And I only was gone for a couple of hours. Other people were absolutely pitching in to help. And that made it so much easier. And so that's what we want to think about when we talk about caregiving. See, you will get burnout. You're going to burn out from running around. You're giving care to this person. You actually, are taking care of your own financial and responsibilities that you have, needs that you need to get done. And then you find yourself exhausted and worn out. Take a moment for yourself. Enjoy creation, enjoy life, right? Take a breath of air and get some well-deserved, well-needed rest. My mom actually said to me, you run too hard. She said, you always running. I always see your back. You'll come and check with me. I'll sit down with her and have a conversation with her. 10 over 10, how you doing? I will sit down and have a conversation with her. I'll make sure that mentally and emotionally she's okay. I don't know what happened. The picture froze. It wasn't me. I don't know. So I sat down with her to make sure that she was okay before I went out. But I already knew it was going to be an emotional day. And the way I knew it was going to be an emotional day for my mom and that I couldn't really take a whole day of rest is because we both had a crying spell when we were talking to each other. And that's to be expected when you are giving care. Stephen, thank you, but you might want to take the word young out. I have grown children, so that tells you I'm not old. I'm not old, but I ain't young either. But thank you for thinking so. I really appreciate it. So, when I'm giving care to my mom, I always do a temperature check, right? I want to make sure she's okay. I want to make sure that she's okay to be left alone. I want to make sure that she's okay to be left with someone. And I want to make sure that she's all right, mentally and emotionally. So, yesterday, hi everyone. Happy Sunday to those that I haven't said hi to yet. Good morning, and thank you for jumping on. And so I sat with her for a while and I just talked. Even though it's a house full of people, people that you're giving care to can go through bouts of loneliness. And I've said this before, you could be in a room full of people and be lonely. If you have no one to talk to, if you have no one who really understands you and who empathizes with what you're going through, you could be surrounded by a whole bunch of people and still be alone. And I don't ever want her to feel that way. This caregiving to someone that I love is so important to me. It is a life priority. And so when you are in a similar situation and you are a caregiver, make sure that you spend time talking to that person. Guys, continue to double tap the screen. Give me some likes. I really appreciate it. So I sat with her. We had a crying fit because that's what happens. We started talking about her condition. We started talking about her missing my dad. I'm missing my dad. We started talking about life stories. And then I fell apart. She fell apart, right? It was a caregiving moment. It was a mom and daughter moment. But it was also a moment filled with love and warmth and affection. And so those are some of the rewards you get when you are a caregiver. That's some of the things that you look out for and some of the things that you want to experience. I know this is hard. I know it. But then also remember, it's hard for them too. It's hard for someone who's so independent to now rely on other people to have meals, rely on other people to get them to and from their appointments, rely on other people to help them hygienically if that's necessary. It's hard for someone who's very independent and at one time was really motivated and a go-giver and a hustler to now sit there and have to rely on someone for basic needs and necessities as far as caregiving. Can you put yourself in their position and understand what they may be going through? If you're a caregiver, do you know how hard that is? And oh my goodness, what if that happens to you? Do you know how you're going to feel? Anything can happen to us, right? Unfortunately, you've known many people who have left the house one day and then something tragic happens. It doesn't have to be a gradual process like someone aging and you giving them care. It could be a process of someone getting in a horrific accident and you don't walk away. And now you medically need assistance and you need caregiving services and support. How many people do you know that that's happened to? And if you don't know people personally, check the news. It always happens, right? So when you look at things like that, we want to be able to use empathy to see how that person that's receiving care feels. And so that's what I worked on and spent time with her yesterday morning. Even though I knew I was going out to get some me time and some family time, I wanted to make sure that I was there for my mom and make sure that I was okay. Now, if you are here for the first time and you've never watched my channel and you don't know what I'm talking about, thank you, Alman. I really appreciate your response. I am not a scammer, and everything that I post may not be for everybody. So if you don't like it, feel free to log off, okay? Feel free to leave because I'm talking about something serious that is not for play. I'm talking about giving care and providing services to people who need it. So if you don't want to hear it on this wonderful Sunday morning, you can swipe off, swipe up, swipe left, just hit the X. That's what you can do. Okay? And so that's my comment. I'm not scamming. I'm just telling people what some of us want to hear. Because in this sandwich generation, the older we get, we're moving into that generation where we may need care. We're moving into a generation where we may need assistance. It's not only me just providing services of care to my mother, but also training my children for when my husband and I need their care. Okay? So if you don't want to hear it, you join late. I'm happy you're here, but no negativity, because that's not what this is about. This is about positively encouraging our elder generation to move forward. Keep them here with us as long as we can, and to learn from their wisdom and their knowledge, as well as train the younger ones to do the same. That's why I'm here this Sunday morning. Now, after I left, because I don't want to have burnout, and thank you guys for tapping the screen and the likes, I really appreciate it. So after I had some me time, I didn't stay with the entire group. I left because I needed to get back home to my mom and to address her needs. But can I tell you, as a caregiver, it was so refreshing to have some time to spend with her, but also refreshing to have some time to spend with myself too, and my other family members and friends. You're gonna need that from time to time when you are giving caregiving services, okay? You're gonna need that support. So this is another topic I wanted to talk about really quick, and I'm gonna do a video about this too a little bit more, because I really want you guys' thoughts and your comments about what you think you can do to help other people to realize and understand the process that you're going through. Okay? You love the way I talk. Thank you so much. So, I try to be real with people, because people who know me personally know there's stuff that I don't take off people. And I just try to be real, because that's life. We all have life experiences. And if you have wisdom in a certain field, we should share. Okay? So, another thing that I also find as a challenge is that people need to understand what you're going through. Helping other people, whether it be your friends or family members, if they're not the ones directly giving care, helping them to appreciate what you're doing as far as providing care for that person in need. And so keeping them engaged so that they're not wondering. Sometimes my friends feel like I can just stop what I'm doing at the drop of a hat and go out with them. And that's not going to happen, right? They think, well, why can't you come? They think maybe I don't want to associate with them, and that's not true. But see, when you ask me at the last minute to come out, then I've got to make sure, number one, that everything is covered. That's a priority in my life, right? I have these discussions with my husband to make sure that we are covering all bases, especially the needs of my mom, because she's the one receiving care. I want to make sure that everything is covered before I go and spend time with friends. And that's one of the sacrifices that you make. I did a video yesterday with my son, and he talked about sacrifices, right? That's part of the thing with caregiving, is that you're going to have to sacrifice your time. There's some things that you may not want to do, or that you may want to do, but you can't do it because you are giving caregiving services. That's one of the things that people don't really understand. You think, oh, well, she has grown children. She should be able to provide those services and to rely on them, but they also have schedules too. So we all try to intermesh our schedules and make sure that the coverage is there. And people outside of the home, or outside, like they say, you can't see the forest for the trees. People outside of the realm of this home, they may not be able to see that. And so they wonder, why can't she just stop what she's doing and come? She got enough coverage at home, right? People, especially extended family, may not know all the intricacies of care that you're giving. And so to the degree that you and the person receiving care feels comfortable, tell them. Tell them. I don't simply say, and I used to do that. People would say, can you come? And I'd be like, no. No, I'm not coming. I'm not doing it. That was my response initially, right? But then I started to realize that people don't understand the reason I'm saying no. And I don't want to cause offense. So to say no, I won't be able, because I need to take care of other responsibilities in my home. A lot of my good friends know that I am a caregiver. And now you all know I'm a caregiver too, right? So it's not a secret. And so a lot of my friends who know that I'm a caregiver are understanding, and they realize, what, she's not going to be able to stop what she's doing in order to just come if my mom's having a bad day, or sometimes, let's be real, if I'm having a bad day. Yesterday in the morning was a double whammy, because we both were emotional, right? Sometimes it only takes one thing to trigger. So I start talking about something, it led to another conversation. She's bawling, I'm bawling. We got tissues all over the place, right? Because she's crying, I'm crying. And so sometimes it's not emotionally well for me to go out with people. And having your friends and family understand the routine, unfortunately, Some people don't understand what you're going through as a caregiver until they become caregivers themselves. I had a situation like that because my ex-husband had medical needs and had major surgery. And a person that I was friends with at that time didn't understand why I had to give care to him. So, see, caregiving is not always to an elderly parent. It could be for a spouse, it could be for your child, So I was giving caregiving services to him because at that time we were married and I wanted to make sure he pulled through okay. And so people couldn't understand, a person in particular couldn't understand why I couldn't just get up and go travel. Why would I? I'm making sure that my then husband was okay, right? And so people, unless they start giving care, now, ironically, years later, they came back because they were in a similar situation and they apologized, right? And so people in certain situations don't understand what you're going through until they walk that path themselves. And this is not a path that I wish on anybody. I don't. But unfortunately, I'll say it again for the people all the way in the back. You won't understand what it's like to be a caregiver until you are a caregiver yourself or you're on the receiving end of someone who's getting care. Guys, continue to double tap for me and give me the likes if you want to. I really appreciate it. And so, trying to explain to people, I can't go out. I can't really take your call right now. I'm sitting with her, I'm helping her. They don't understand that. And I've had a couple of friends who didn't, and they got kind of ignorant, okay? They got kind of ignorant when they didn't understand. But now that they understand and they're in that similar situation, they're fine. And they understand now if we have plans and I've got to cancel at the last minute, they then understand I'm not on the West Coast. I am on the East Coast. And I'm going to tell you, like I told you earlier, or if y'all heard it in the beginning, it's freezing today. I have no idea what's going on. We in the middle of June, literally the middle of June, and it's freezing. I got the heater on. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this weather, but clearly the weather doesn't know that we're approaching technically summer. I don't know what's going on. So sometimes trying to engage and keep your family and friends engaged because you're going to need that support. They're going to need to understand what's actually going on with that person that you're, rendering care to is a little difficult. Maybe one of the benefits would be for you to have them shadow you. Okay. So don't, and I say this because sometimes people receiving care, they can want to isolate themselves. I don't want nobody coming here. I don't want nobody seeing me like this. I don't want nobody to look at me like I'm, sick. And I understand that. So one of the things that might be beneficial if you have to render care to someone is to actually have your family members that are close to you, the family members that, will help you and assist you, shadow you while you're in the home with your family member. I am not dating because, yeah, let me put it like this. Stephen, I'm dating my husband. I'm dating my husband. How about that? So, oh, Ralph, wait a minute. You guys are so off topic. You are funny. So, anyway, having a relative or a family friend that can render you that assistance would be very, very helpful. And then that way they'll get the full picture. And that is something that you can work on incorporating into your caregiving schedule. Don't do it alone. Don't don't try to be a solo caregiver if you can help it, right? Because that's a lot of pressure and weight to put on someone else. I've often found it funny, and I say this, and you guys tell me if you agree. As a mom, I could take care of my children, and I had them back to back, right? I had my first three or 18 months back to back, and then there was a little space, and then I had two more, right? I, as a mom, can take care of my five children. When they were all young, and I was a single parent for a minute, I could take care of five kids. But you need a whole tribe to take care of an adult. You need a whole tribe to take care of an adult who needs care. You cannot do this all on your own. Okay? You can't. So if you start to isolate yourself, you're going to feel overwhelmed in that pressure. Trust me, your girl been there, done that. Ain't going there again. And not going there again. So I had to sit down and tell you, or tell my mom, hey, mom, I need help. And actually, it needed to be not just me, but also me and my five kids. We need help. We need to let people in and let them assist where they can. Moving into their home, we needed to renovate. We needed assistance with moving things around, right? I needed to learn certain things that, they needed to take care and address in their house. So all of that learning I called on friends. I called on friends to help me. Them and their husbands, let's be real, y'all. Come and help us. Come let us know what's going on because you need that support. Don't do it all on your own. So, shadowing is very, very beneficial. Have a family member, a friend, talk to the person you're giving care to initially, talk and make sure that they feel comfortable with it. Help them to understand why you need the assistance, that it all can't be on you, and then let them feel comfortable so that you can have someone shadow you and come in and help and offer that assistance, okay? So that's something that you can do. Write down specific things. Now, you guys know I've been talking about this checklist book, right? I am in the final stages of coming up and releasing this. It's going to be a downloadable print, digital download of stuff that you need to check for, things that you can kind of just check and make sure that you're doing, whether it be going to a doctor's office or something like that. You know, that's what you can use in order to make sure you're covering everything. What did you say? I almost went crazy. I let her in her misery. She hates herself and wants those around her to be the same. I understand. Empress love. I understand. So my mom didn't hate herself, but the grief she went, the place she went to when my dad passed away suddenly, I've never seen her that dark. I've never seen her that dark. So I understand. But caregiving is about making sure she needs what she's getting what she needs, but also that I'm not following her down that path, right? It's so important that I let her know I got to let other people in. So for my mental health and sanity, I got to go out. I need some me time and I need to let other people in because I can't continue to do this if I'm down in this dark hole with you and this grief with you. So Empress love, I understand. So you can't force someone to do something they don't want to do, but you yourself can get the support that you need. And sometimes support is just hear me out, let me vent. Let me talk about how miserable the situation is right now that I'm in. Let me talk about how hard this is for me. And then if you have suggestions, help me out. Positivity, right? Because I need that reinforcement, so that I can continue to provide the care that I need. So sometimes it's not always about the person receiving care. It is very much about the caregiver too. I have learned that, right? And I'm sorry you had no help. Girl, g- uh, so when all of this initially happened, Empress Love, I don't know if you guys have watched my channel, and I'm just going to give you a brief excerpt, right? So I was married to someone for almost 21 years. He decided one day, this was during the pandemic, that he no longer wanted to be a father, longer wanted to be a husband, and he left. He left. Now there were warning signs that I saw coming. Before then, it didn't blow me away, right? It didn't blow me away when he decided to get up and leave. But in the midst of that, we were going through, the divorce had just been finalized, and then all of a sudden, my dad, who I who was my rock, even though he was sick, he passes away suddenly. So here I had a single parent. Here I am, a single parent, 5 young people. They weren't working, they weren't grown, right? And I had to do it all on my own. And I'm sitting here like, what in the world? It was like life threw me a curveball. And it was hard. It was emotional. I would come in my room, close the door, take the pillow, put it over my mouth, and I had to let it out, right? So there are people out here who are in similar situations. Empress, I empathize with what you went through because I went through something similar. And then we went through the period where my mom didn't want to take phone calls, right? She was blocking people. I was the mediator and people would get mad at me, right? She called, people would call, I don't want to talk to them. They can't understand what I'm going through. She was going through it, right? And so when you have that kind of situation, it was very hard for people to understand, and they weren't as compassionate as they possibly could have been. And I very much felt like I was alone. So then I started looking at after a while because, my kids, kids help to the degree at that time they were younger. Go get this, you can bring it back. Go get this, You know, you can bring this back to me. But as far as the emotional wear and tear, I wasn't doing that to my children. They had been through enough with their dad and I divorcing and him abandoning the family, let's be real. So I wasn't going to put that weight on my children. So I bore the brunt of it. But at that time, my shoulders were ready for it. They were ready for it. And so it's not always easy, Empress. I will tell you, continue to endure. I know this may sound crazy. You are not the only one going through this. And you're not the only one who's been through it. I had to get organized, right? In order to chart out my plans. I had to get that little tough love, but respectful. Okay? I had to get that little respectful, tough love. Let her know I'm here for you. You my ride or die. We going through it right now, but it does get better. Yeah, it does get better. And now we're at a point where, and it's been about 3 years, a little over 3 years, where she's just starting to let some people in. And I'm so happy because they have no idea what it was like 2 years ago, right? A year ago, and her still battling the grief and issues with her own ailments, right? So you're not the only one. It does get better if you endure. Take the me time for yourself to refresh yourself mentally, right? Come up with ways to get organized. I'm not going to show you guys the cover because I'm redoing the cover. And this is just, I'm making this downloadable worksheet. This is just going to be downloadable of stuff that you can take and review. I'll let you guys know when it's available to help you get organized. So another thing, when you're thrust into caregiving, a lot of people don't even know where to start. We don't even know what to look for and or discuss. And I'm going to tell you something, we overlook stuff. I can't tell you how much stuff I overlooked. And I thought I had a handle on everything. But then stuff would crop up that should have been addressed when I first started giving care. And then I have to go rummage through paperwork in order to try to find it. So I've condensed and compiled everything so that it makes it easier. And I definitely will make it easier for anybody who's starting care services or going through care services, because we need to have those frank discussions, right? I needed to have those frank discussions with my mom. And so, you're welcome, Empress Love. Trust me. I just don't even know. I don't even know how to share with you all everything that I've been through. And people, it's so funny, friends of mine are like, you should write a book. I can't believe you still smile after all this. And yet I'm happy. I'm happy because I'm able to render care to someone that I'm absolutely in love with, my mom. When I see her, I don't see her the way she is now. I see her for the woman she was. And that woman, Empress, if you're close to your mom, you'll see her again. I see snapshots of the woman my mom used to be. I hear her laugh more than ever now. Or I should say, I haven't heard her laugh as much, in the past couple of years due to what she's been going through with her health or missing my dad, as much as she's starting to laugh now and enjoy. My son-in-law, yes, I said son-in-law because my daughter just got married. It's been a little bit over a month. My oldest daughter just got married. My son-in-law fits right in with the clan, right? He checks on her. His personality is absolutely fabulous. He has jumped right into caregiving mode. Anything Grandma G-Ma wants, he's there for it, right? And so having that support system is so important. Letting people in. People won't know unless they walk your path to a degree. Yeah, I do journal. I do talk about that too in another video on my channel. I do journal because I journal for my peace of mind. I also journal to make sure that I'm not missing or forgetting anything. And so definitely let people in, let people know what you're going through, have them express themselves. Because sometimes when you come to me and you say, girl, you don't even like me no more. No, it's not that I don't like you. But do you know what I'm going through? Let me share that with you. Let's take some of the spotlight off yourself. Let's take some of the spotlight off yourself and then turn it to what is really going on here. A lot of times I tell people we suffer from eye trouble. I can't do this. I don't know why you don't want to be around me. I don't know why you don't call me no more. I don't know why we not friends no more. And we build off of that eye trouble, right? When really that's not even the story. That's not even what's going on. Instead of making assumptions, we need to talk and ask people what's going on. And then that way we can build from there. So you guys, those giving care, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Happy Sunday. So like Empress Love recommend it. Guys, let's journal for the week. Write out what appointments you have, what care you need to give to that person. Make sure you're not missing anything. When my comprehensive checklist drops, hi everyone, happy Sunday to everyone joining. When my comprehensive checklist drops, I'll let you guys know, and you can share that with people. For those who are starting to give care, for those going through the journey, make sure that you've checked off all the boxes and make sure everything is lined up so that you're giving care to the best of your ability to that person. And also, for your frame of mind, make sure you journal your appointments. Do not give care to other people so much that you don't give yourself care, because that happens, right? So make sure that you're getting the care that you deserve as well. I am jumping off because I got things to do today, even though it's Sunday. You know, Sunday is my fun day. Sunday is a day I like to really just chill, but I got stuff to do. Let's be real. Get my meal started, all that other stuff. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Let's get to getting on Monday. We got stuff to do. This is your girl, Essie. Have a fabulous day. Have a fabulous weekend. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, share when this drops because I'm going to put it on the YouTube channel as well. And give me some more likes. I'm out.